Thanks for tuning in to Bitches Be Cray. Just a quick reminder, everything we share on this show reflects our personal experiences and what's worked for us. We're not healthcare professionals, so if you or someone you know is dealing with a medical or mental health concern, please reach out to a qualified professional for support. What's up, bitches? Welcome to Bitches Be Cray. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Nancy, and today we're going to be diving into attachment styles, what they are, how they show up in our relationships, and how they've played out in our own lives. Attachment shapes the way we connect, communicate, and handle conflict in relationships.
Yeah, and I feel like, I'm sure attachment styles and people knowing what they are and about them has probably been happening for many years. But of course, as trends are, I feel like I'm seeing it
Way
all
more.
over now. You definitely, from my recollection, brought it to my attention first.
That was last year.
Was it last year? Oh
Yeah,
my
because it was when I
God.
was dating.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But definitely since then, like and it also could be because I did kind of look into it a little bit, but my therapist had brought it up at one point. I'm just like, oh my God, it's coming out of everywhere. But anyway, in case you aren't familiar, you haven't heard the buzzword of attachment styles, we're going to explain like what they are and then talk about how it affects like our personal lives. So basically the definition of an attachment style, it's like patterns of relating to others developed in childhood, but often carried into adult relationships. As a child, who even pays attention to know that? If you have children and you know about attachment styles, obviously see them, but you don't know what's happening when you're a child. You don't know, like, ooh, I'm the secure attachment. So they probably weren't even around when we were kids, or maybe they were. I don't know when they
We should
originated.
Google it.
Yeah. But there are 4 main styles. And the first one that we'll mention is the secure attachment. This is the one everyone...
I call the unicorn.
Oh,
No
yeah.
one fucking has
I was
that.
going to say, everyone wants it. Not many have it.
No one has that.
I have it now in some ways. I have evolved.
But we've already talked about that. If a person that would like to do things outside the world, I don't know how you would be.
But I'm not even considering just my relationship with him. I'm thinking of my relationship with other people.
Oh,
too.
okay, yeah.
However, my relationship with my husband is the biggest one
Yeah.
that I would think of. But I'm noticing in other things
Oh,
too.
like with me or with...
Yeah, like I don't get used to. I would get. We'll come
Okay,
back. We'll come back to this.
We'll circle.
Okay, so the 4 main styles. Number 1, secure. It's when you're comfortable with closeness, trust, and independence. I feel like it's a lot deeper than that, but that's the short version of what it is. Okay.
Anxious. It's the quote unquote preoccupied, craves closeness, and often worries about abandonment and seeks reassurance. That one bitch is like, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Why aren't you answering?
I've definitely...
Yeah.
Again, we're getting into that. That I can relate.
Yes.
The next one is avoidant, like the dismissive. Values independence, may withdraw when others get too close, and is less comfortable with vulnerability.
And then my personal favorite, it's a cocktail of both. Why can't it be a cocktail of all 3 of them? No, it has to be a cocktail of the shitty things, not the good one.
Of course.
It's fearful avoidant, the disorganized, wants closeness, but also fears it in mixed signals in relationships.
Okay, let's get into like our personal stories. Obviously, you have to dig a little deep to think about your childhood, your adolescence, when you like started dating, your relationships, and kind of where you are now. It's kind of like the whole picture. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you know that all of mine here are based on a quiz I had ChatGPT make me so we could determine together what my attachment style was and is. So again, this is according to ChatGPT, not a professional. But from my childhood, I often felt like my parents were present for physical needs. Like if I fell, scraped my leg, and I'm like bleeding.
Congratulations.
And I'm like, oh no, I'm hurt. I need a Band-Aid. Like they would take care of me. And I'm not saying they weren't there for any of my emotional needs, but it definitely didn't feel that way. And I took care of my emotional needs on my own to the best of my ability as a child. And then when I started, I'm trying to think like friendships as a child.
Remember that one bitch?
Oh God, which one?
The one that you said that there was one bitch and then there was other bitch and then the two bitches became more
Yeah,
friends.
that's actually what I was thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah, because in like my closest friendships as a child were in my like little neighborhood because there were girls that were like a year and 2 years older than me, and the three of us were like really. I mean, they were sisters, so they were already close. But like the three of us were close for years. Like we had a friendship. Then someone new moved, into the
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood, and got really close with the one that I was closest to, and they kind of made me feel like a little bit of an outcast.
Did they make you feel that, or did your
No, I think they
insecurities?
like
Okay.
they were like a bully.
Oh, okay.
They
That's
were
my
like
question because sometimes we think something's happening, but we don't know.
Yeah, it was really interesting because individually, like if I hung
Oh.
out with them individually, everything was cool. But once they got together, the older of the two, not the one who was my original from the other one, you definitely like mean girl vibes for
Mm.
sure. But like if she liked you, you became part of like mean girl clique. I don't know. But anyway, so I think then I definitely felt like anxious and I would think about like, oh, we're not gonna be friends anymore because they're friends and
Yeah.
they're gonna come like kind of bully me a little bit and all that kind of stuff. So there was definitely some anxious there and from my childhood not getting like emotional needs met. But when I think of like past relationships, like romantic ones, definitely more on the anxious side. I feared abandonment. I needed reassurance, super jealous. Sometimes, well, not even sometimes,
Sometimes.
too. No, not that. But when things could possibly like get challenging, I kind of tapped into at least a little bit of an avoidant because instead of just having conversations to try to fix things, I ended two multiple year relationships like just in a I mean it feels like in a snap. Obviously things were building in the background, but I'm like, no, I'm just going to avoid this and peace out. I'm out of here.
And then quickly later became anxious as fuck about it.
Yeah, of course. Lived in regret 2 seconds later, and then yeah.
No, it went a week one time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You
That's
did
true.
good.
That's true. I'm like, I'm so happy. You're like, something's wrong.
Yeah,
Then
you're
like,
not okay, bitch,
I'm
but
like,
okay.
I'm free. Yeah. But my current relationship is much more secure. I'm comfortable with closeness, which I always have been, really, I think anyway. I trust my partner. I do have occasional anxious and avoidant habits like I think I mean maybe they could eventually go away. Not necessarily with him like Nancy and I recently there was like a moment she's like, "Are you not telling me the truth about things like in our relationship?" Remember, so like I avoided. So there's still an avoidant tendency sometimes to not have like conversations if I don't like I feel anxious like I don't know where the conversation will go, then I just avoid it.
I mean, but
So
I think it's the fear that the person's gonna leave you.
sure,
And I'm like,
yeah.
because that has to be the only reason.
Yeah.
Because it's like, but once you know that someone's not gonna leave you, then you tell them everything.
Yeah.
Because what are they gonna do? Leave you? That's the worst thing that could happen.
Right.
But if the person reassures you, like, I'm not gonna leave you, like, in order for me to leave you, you have to sleep with my man. I don't have one. So, so we're safe.
Yeah. Yeah. But still, I mean, all of that is built up from what's happened,
Yeah, of course.
in past
It has
relationships.
nothing to do with me.
And sometimes it's like, even if you know something's true because your
Mhm.
experiences, you still don't trust it.
And it hurts still.
Yeah. Yeah. But like what you mentioned earlier, like Nancy and I have had conversations about this because I have that more secure feeling now, right? Like my husband in particular, he's not like a really social guy. So he goes out with like the friend actually has two friends from high school, but he only actually interacts with one of them like a handful of times a year. If
I've
he's
never met him.
I've only met him a few times, right? Maybe he's mythical. No, he's been to my house. I've met him. But my exes, not my both my exes, my ex before him though, like my other long-term relationship in my like early 20s, like was very
Oh my
social,
god,
wanted to be
yeah.
with friends all the time, wanted to be out and about around girls. I've definitely felt very like anxious in that relationship for sure. But being with my husband who doesn't like to do that is part of what's helped healed me. Obviously, I think just working on healing myself in general has helped, and therapy obviously has helped too. But yeah, I think in my past, even like relationships with friends, like it would hurt me a lot more if, or maybe not hurt me, but I would be anxious, like, oh, why did I say something to this friend? Why aren't they writing me
Mm-hmm.
back? But it's like I've noticed recently, I'm like, oh, it's fine. They're probably just busy. Like now it's more like it doesn't eat, like before I would eat me up and
Me
eat me
too.
up. But now I'm like, you know what? Like, no, they're like at work or, maybe they're actually doing something with their family. Like that doesn't mean they're
Left
upset
me.
with me.
Or
Yeah,
left
or that
me.
they're out of here. Exactly. So I think yes, a big part of it is my relationship with my husband, why I feel more secure, but I'm noticing it in other places too.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, obviously in my childhood, my parents, they weren't there for me literally or emotionally or physically. But growing up, I was like outcasted by the little friend groups things. So I was definitely very anxious with friends as a little kid. But then once I saw that I was rejected, I became avoidant. So I go from one to another. I can be very anxious, but once I've realized that you are out, I'm completely avoidant. Like I've noticed that I pretend that things didn't exist. Like I pretended like I never moved here from Mexico. I never thought about that. And then when I moved from my 20-year home to Atlanta, pretended like that never happened. I never even thought about my 20-year-old home ever again. Like I just literally erased it from my brain. And then I noticed that here I just moved offices. We were in that office for 6 years this year, and I just pretend like that office never existed.
Oh.
Unless I have to go over there to like, because we rented it out
Okay.
to like talk to the tenants that we have there. I pretend like it never happened. Like
Because you don't want to deal with the feelings of the change.
No, bye. So now I'm working on that. So I feel like with relationships, I'm either really, 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 really fucking anxious, but when you've already left me, I don't seek you out to attach to you. Like anxious. As soon as the person thing or whatever has left the building, I avoid.
Well, and I think it, like, when I think of your last relationship, in the beginning, you were very anti, like, relationship a little bit. Like, you're like, no, let's just keep this casual. Let's just go on some dates here and there. I don't want, like, you were avoiding. And then once you got in there,
I became very anxious.
Yes.
But the thing is that it wasn't until, like, he triggered me, because I feel like I have healed so much about my anxiousness, but I did something to trigger his anxiousness, and then return he made me anxious. So then it was just like a whole shit show.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that another time. So I think in my relationships, I'm very, like, my first relationship, my first little Luca boyfriend thing. Everybody heard that? Yeah. Anxious attachment up the ass.
Yeah.
Up the ass. My second relationship, anxious attachment up the ass. But I never became avoidant with my first one. Remember, I saw him out all the time. Like, I loved him so fucking much. I was like, I want you. I love you. Let's be together.
Yeah, you just stayed in anxious.
Yeah, I stayed in anxious.
I think I did too in the first one.
And
the second one.
Yeah, and then once I got out. And the second one a little bit too. But after the end, I was like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, get the fuck out of here. But right now, with this new one, I've realized that I am disorganized for sure. That I used to think that I was full-blown anxious. Like, full-blown to the max. But now I can see that I'm both in very extreme ways. Like, once I'm anxious during it, but once I manage to leave, I mean, it got to the point where this recent person that I went out with, I even forgot how their face looked like. I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even daydream about him because the face erased from my brain.
Yeah, you definitely avoiding, like,
okay, I don't give a fuck. Bye.
Yeah.
And then I do notice with my friendships, because when I was little, like, I would make a friend by some miracle, and then she would make another friend, and then they would eventually, like, leave me. So every time a friend would introduce me to another friend, I always had a subconscious feeling that they were gonna, like, leave me and not talk to me again.
Is that what you thought when I went to college and I started making other friends?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if we ever talked about that.
No, we didn't talk about shit back then like
I
that.
know, you're right.
What the fuck? Who the fuck did that? Nobody.
Nobody was healing yet.
Healing wasn't famous yet.
You're right.
Okay?
You're right. But I mean, no, that makes sense. I hadn't thought about it until the way you just explained it. Because I am the kind of person who often likes to pull my friends together.
Yeah.
I like a friend. I always want like a little friend group. And I'm just like, who can I piece together here? And sometimes it works out and sometimes it's fine and sometimes no. But I never really thought about how that might, like,
and you
affect
know what?
other people.
I have healed a little bit because, I just went to this wedding and I knew no one.
Right.
But the bride.
Right.
And then the day before, my mom came over to babysit Renata, and she just stared at me. She was like, "Are you not scared?" And I was like, "Of what?" She's like, "You know no one." And it dawned on me. I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know no one."
And then you got scared?
And then I got a little bit scared.
Yeah.
But I didn't get full-blown scared until I actually arrived at the fucking hotel. I had like a whole ass moment.
Of, like, panic?
Yeah.
Like,
and then I
like,
started thinking, like, what if no one likes me?
Oh.
I thought that for a second. what if no one likes me? So I called my sister and I was like, what if no one likes me?
Oh.
And she's like, why do we have to think that?
Yeah.
And it's like that Mel Robbins lady said, why do, when we assume things, they're always bad? Why don't we ever assume good shit? Why don't we ever assume no? It's always bad. Or when we think about like why somebody did something to us, we never think that it's something good. It's always something bad. Oh, they did it because they hate us now. It's never like they did it because they're busy.
Yeah. I've actually talked to my therapist about this, but more in the context, not about people, but more in the context like when I was about to fly.
Yeah.
And I had to talk about all the things I would think would happen. It's not like I was sitting around thinking, oh, I'm going to have a lovely flight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to love my snack. Oh, I'm going to have a great view of coming into the beach. It was just like, oh my God, the plane's going to crash. Yeah. Oh my God, what if but it's because, I think it's because you do that because then it's not like you're trying to protect yourself because then it's not a surprise if it happens. You're like almost preparing. I think that's why.
Yes. And that's how I prepared every time I met a woman. I prepared by already putting on my bitch face and ready to go. Yeah. So I'm not going to let you be a bitch.
Right. Like you can't be vulnerable. Yeah. Because okay.
I'm going to be the bitch in the room. Yeah. So you didn't reject me. I rejected you, bitch.
Right. Like you didn't.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the pain.
You took care of it. You have to earn me.
That sounds very avoidant.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So when I got there and then I met I had never met my friend's wife. Like my friend's wife was just like open arms. She's from Russia, which is actually kind of because Russian people are not known for their warmth, right? But they're not. So she just like literally hugged me, and then she introduced me to her baby daddy, and her baby daddy's husband. Okay. Yeah, very, very blended family. And they all like hugged me and shit. And then we left from there to go to the pier because we did a whole boat tour around the city on a hot tub. It was badass. Mm-hmm. And then I met everyone and everybody was just so welcoming. And it was the first time that I was just like, I'm not scared. I mean, I was scared in the hotel, but when I actually met them, I was like, I'm not scared that they're not going to like me.
Oh, that's probably very healing for you.
Yeah. And then one of the girls, she would be like the quote unquote, like, typical like cute blonde like that most women would be like probably intimidated by. Yeah. And she was just like the nicest person. Oh. Yeah, and she was just like so well everybody. And when we left the boat, my friend's wife was like, Nancy, I feel like I've known you my whole life. Oh. And then later that the wedding day, the baby daddy, his husband was like, I can't say his name, that the best thing about this whole trip has been meeting you. Oh, and I was like, oh my God.
And you can't even connect on Facebook because is your Facebook open? Like, can you did y'all do numbers? Did y'all connect?
Yeah, we did numbers. Yeah, okay. But I was just like, because my sister put me in my place. She was like, think good thoughts. Why the fuck do we have to think bad thoughts? Good. And it's true. So I feel like I've become a little bit more secure in that. Like, I wasn't like, no one's going to like at first I freaked out, but then once I was there, but usually I come to the situation armed. Yeah. But I didn't. Yeah. I decided to be nice and vulnerable and like.
That's good. Yeah. I'm proud of you. Yeah, because you wrote me. And I did. Like,
I wrote everyone. And
I don't know if you noticed, I tried not to engage too much with it. I tried to just validate how you're feeling because I'm like, I was afraid if I engaged too much with it, you would spiral. Yeah. Because I would. And you have in the past, and I'm like, I don't know where we are right now mentally. So I'm like, I'm just gonna be like, yes, I understand this, Cray, but you got that. Like, I was trying to keep it very, very low key. I didn't know you were calling all these other people on the side, but I'm glad I'm glad they sent you in a good place as well.
Yeah, they were both like, it's gonna be okay.
And look, since this is not the travel episode, but since we talked about traveling, you just traveled for this, and I know like you exchanged numbers with people, and you love to travel, so I have a feeling you'll be visiting them.
No, they told me the mom, and then I met the mom.
Do they live in Russia?
No. Okay. Do they live in Russia?
Yeah.
No, they live here. They live in DC.
Oh, they all do?
Yeah. Most of them. Okay. Some of them live in Canada, Florida, and DC.
But okay, they're all here. Yeah. They're all like local-ish.
And like her aunt was like, bring your daughter to Orlando and I'll give her free tickets to Disney.
Shoot. Yeah. You're like, all right, we'll see you next year.
Yes.
Or this Christmas or whatever. Oh, that's awesome. I'm very happy that worked out for you.
But I'm definitely disorganized as fuck and I'm working on it. Yeah. Because I don't ever want to be, I just want to get better at it. Because I don't want, that's.
Well, right. Because like you could have went so avoidant that you didn't even go. Mm-hmm. Like, or maybe you drove all the way there and you're just like frozen and you can't go.
Or I could have been a bitch.
That's true.
For no fucking reason.
Like you didn't. I'm proud of you. That's actually really big. That's really, really big.
I was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's talk about how attachment styles can show up in our day-to-day life, which we kind of just did with this conversation with travel, but there are like a few areas that they can really show up, such as when you have conflict, day-to-day communication in your friendships, obviously in romantic relationships. But let's talk a little bit about conflict.
I think I'm conflict avoidant.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Do we know
Obviously.
anybody who's not conflict avoidant?
I know there's got to be some people.
Where are you bitches?
I don't know.
Who's just like, yeah, I want conflict.
I mean, I don't know if they think about it like that, but like I know someone. I don't know if they listen to this podcast. If you do, hi. I don't know if you'll know I'm talking about you, but I just think of her. I don't think of her like as conflict, but more like an advocator. Like I like working with her in the past because we were both teachers. She still is. I'm not, obviously, but like I think there had been things sometimes like I might be like, oh, I don't know if this is worth even bringing up, having a conversation about to like principals or whoever else, because like no, it feels a lot of time like no one's going to do anything about it based on the experience that I've seen. But not her. She will advocate for people. She will say like not trying to be like bitchy about it or have a conflict, but like she's willing to like standing up for stuff. So I think of it kind of like that too. But obviously when you think of conflict, it's like, an argument is typically right. So like if you're somebody who wants to fix things immediately,
me,
that is definitely me too. It's anxious. That's an anxious attachment example. Like I can't stand thinking like that I've said something to someone that hurts their feelings, and I want to like do whatever I can really quickly to make sure like, are we good? Like, are we
okay?
Yeah. Especially romantically in romantic relationships, because then like that'll just ruin your whole freaking day, and nobody wants that. But if you're someone who likes to take space and maybe you don't want to work on something right away or maybe at all, then you're like displaying some avoidant attachment styles. I mean, like it's hard because I feel in this instance I could definitely be both. I think it can depend on who it's about. Like if I think of my in-laws, there's probably things I would definitely avoid because I'm like, I know we're never going to be on the same page about this
like,
no matter what. So yeah, I would avoid it. But like if it was something with my husband, I would be like, gotta fix it. So I think it can be situational and depending on who it's with. Do you think you avoid, I mean, I know you said you avoid conflict, but you also want to fix things. Do you think there's been times in your life where you've avoided trying to fix something because you just thought you weren't going to be on the same page about it? Or
yeah, my brother.
Okay.
At work.
Yeah.
Because he's right or right.
I mean, some people are.
And then my sister-in-law and my brother, not my brother that is always right is not married to my sister-in-law, it's my other brother. They're the type of people, and I don't give a shit to say this because she doesn't listen to my podcast. She doesn't like podcasts.
No, she's going to listen. No, I'm just kidding.
I've told her this. So my brother and my sister-in-law are the type of people when something's wrong, you know it.
Like in their relationship or with you?
No. In life.
Okay.
And they take it out on you.
Okay.
They're quiet. They don't want to talk. They see, like, if you could say good morning, they're like, good morning.
Okay.
And for me, I'm a high functioning, really depressed, crippling anxiety person. So you see me, I'm like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I could be literally, I hate you. No, if I hate you, you probably know it.
But maybe you're masking a lot of
stuff. Like I don't ever go to work. People at work don't ever know what's going on in my life, and as it should, because I'm at work. I believe in that. Like you're at work.
Like you're separating.
Nobody needs to know what you're going through. And before, I would walk into the office and I could already tell there was some thick ass bad energy in there because one of them or both of them are going through some shit. And it would make me so anxious, and it would make me think that it was me, and I would try to do whatever I could to get them to be happy.
Okay.
Like a little kid.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It reminds me of like if your parents are in a bad mood or upset, you want to make them happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here late, like I think it happened yesterday or the day before yesterday with my sister-in-law. And I was like, it's not my problem.
Let them. Yeah. Old Mel Robbins and her let them theory.
It's a good book, y'all.
Yeah.
Let them.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've gotten better with that. And they've been my teachers. I think that's people are put on your life for a reason. Mm-hmm. And they've taught me that I cannot make them happy. And what they're mad about is not me.
Right. It's not about you.
It's not about me.
Yeah.
99% of the time, it ain't about you.
But I do understand why it can feel like that. If those kind of people, like you're saying, that it's like people who wear their emotions on their sleeves and they can't even like pull it together to be professional or to be whatever, and you're just feeling their energy. Like it's hard not to take it personally. That does take practice for sure.
No, it's taken me years because, like I said, you will never know. I mean, when have you ever seen me come like act mean to you because something bad happened to me?
Right.
Never.
Yeah, no. No.
I could be dying. And I'm like, I'm that one person that is like, but she was so happy. Why did you do that?
Yeah. All right, let's talk about that communication. Like, are you a person who likes to share feelings openly? Then maybe you have secure attachment, or if you hold them in, well, avoidant, because if you're anxious, you're probably going to be doing a lot of questioning. I mean, I think that's why I also think I've noticed I've leaned more into my secure attachment in my romantic relationship with my husband, because I will share anything with him, even if it's something in the past I would have thought like, oh no, I would not talk to a boy about that. Like, oh, it might be something gross or disgusting, or maybe just something like deep or personal or whatever, whether it's work related, no matter what it is. Like, I will share any, like, I have nothing that I haven't shared with him that if I wanted to talk about it, I felt like I couldn't. In my past relationships, I would definitely, even though I had an anxious attachment, like my ex, my long distance toxic relationship there, like there would be a lot I wouldn't want to say because
She wouldn't even tell him when she was hanging out with us because she was afraid that he would stop texting her.
did I?
Yeah.
I've repressed that. I don't recall that at all.
Yeah. We were walking the loop one time, and I
Uh-huh.
think he called you and you lied. And then after
What did I say?
you said that you weren't with us.
Oh.
And then after you hung up, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I'm like, does he not let you go out?
I am not remembering.
And you were
that.
like, no, he does. It's not that he doesn't let me go out. It's that when he finds out that I'm with people, he stops talking to me.
Well, that's very interesting. I have no recollection for whatever reason of that.
Yeah, we were walking in front of the Chili's when this happened.
Wow. Okay. So again, I wanted to. My ex and I had very, like, I don't want to say we had similar personalities, but we were both very alpha mindset, want to be like in charge, want to like, so we were very like I feel like we were at each other all the time.
Yeah, when two alphas get together, somebody has to go down.
Yeah, nobody wanted to, and it had to be me some, and it didn't. That's hello, here we are.
It had to be you a lot.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I guess actually,
that's the same thing happened with
the entire time, which is that was
it was their way or the highway.
Now that I'm like in my feminine energy, I have no problem with like kind of I still wouldn't say that I submit per se, but I don't feel like I have to be in charge of everything anymore.
Yeah,
that feels nice. It takes some stress off. But in my last relationship, I definitely had to be very different, so I avoided, like, I was anxious, like, do you care, like, and maybe in my thought process and sometimes vocally, like, do you still love me, do you still care about me, do you want to be with me? But also I would avoid any conversation that would make you leave. Anything that's probably true, how do I really feel, can't tell you that because you'll leave me. So that was my communication. In terms of like friendship, I'm learning more as I go that I'm willing to be more open when it feels safe. Like I feel like over the past few years, me and you, except for this most recent the most recent little thing, like I've always been able to talk to you about absolutely anything, and never felt any kind of way. But other people in my life I have not always felt that way with. I think like I have some friendships now that I feel like it's safer to be.
Who are they? I'm just kidding.
But what about you? Do you have anything you want to say about communication and how your attachment style affects that?
My communication is always very aggressive.
Yeah.
But the thing is that most people think I'm being aggressive, but that's just the way I talk.
Yeah, that's what you and I had talked about recently, right? Like I felt like we were in an argument.
I don't even know.
And you're like, I'm just over here saying shit.
Me too. That's exactly how I am all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm just, when I talk, and I'm trying to, I think it's my masculine energy. Okay. So I'm trying to be more like womanly or whatever, because I do. Even Renata, she's like, you're scared. So it's crazy that my dog knows me more than the people in my life, because Shelby, when I'm talking like this, he knows the different tones of when I'm actually angry. Okay. And he goes in the cage.
Okay. He's like, bye.
I could be talking the same way, but then something slightly is different when I'm mad, and Shelby knows. And Nata's like, why is he going to the cage? I'm like, because he fucking knows me.
Because he can read you, he feels your energy.
Yeah. I was like, you don't fucking know me. Apparently nobody does, but the dog does. So it's like, I could be talking like this, and to you, I'm angry, but I'm not angry.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what I'm working on, but I still feel like I want to say the things that's why sometimes I don't say shit, because I feel like I'm going to scare the person. So I just don't say nothing and I avoid it. But here lately, I've been working on saying the things and then later on following up by like, I'm not mad. I just don't know how to say it in a calm, collective way. But one day I will.
Yeah.
Like one day I will know how. But right now, this is the only way I can say it. I'm not mad. I just don't know how to say it in a feminine way where I'm like, oh my God, you hurt my feelings. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, because think about it. There was the one day we were talking about attachment styles, and you said to me, like, I'm not arguing with you. Like, do you remember you said that to me? You're like, I'm not arguing with you. I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Because you were asking.
I'm not arguing.
Yeah. I didn't think you were arguing that time actually, but
I
appreciated that you.
But at this point, I'm kind of annoyed that you don't know that.
Well, I don't think it's that. It's just
like, at this point.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. What it was. Maybe I think it's because when you get like really in the moment, and you're like you just have like buried in here. Like think about what I just said earlier about my ex, how we were kind of at each other.
Yeah.
Like I think buried in me feels like that. Like when you're at it, like when you feel like you're at it, when you're having a heated. Well, I felt heated. You didn't feel heated. I know.
Feel shit.
But I think the reason I probably felt that way is because I felt heated.
Yeah.
So therefore, it so it wasn't even about. Of course, it's not
then
even about. It's not about you. It was about me.
And it never is.
Of course, it's always about yourself.
But I just really just fucking ask. Like, are you upset? I'm like, no. I didn't even know we had an argument, but apparently we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about growth and change because luckily attachment styles aren't permanent. Therapy and self-awareness and supportive relationships can help you shift toward a more secure attachment, which is what I think has happened to me. Don't get me wrong, just because I'm feeling secure now, obviously it doesn't mean that could be forever. Something could definitely happen and I could,
they say
revert.
That it's always there, but now you have tools.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like being diagnosed with something. It's there forever, but now you have a pill that makes it better.
I don't know that I ever really considered that I was changing attachment styles. I mean, obviously, I didn't really even know about them until like within the last year. Yeah. But I mean, I could obviously, upon reflection, think about how I definitely would get upset and bothered and repeatedly text somebody over and over until like yesterday I did repeatedly text you and I didn't get like anxious yesterday, but like you were really busy and I think I even said that to you in my mind. I'm like in the past that would have worked. I'm like, why is she not writing me?
She did.
I'm like, did I say something and I don't even remember saying anything that would have like been a problem? And
I've done that too.
No, I'm like, I didn't. So like I told myself I think she's probably honestly just busy, and I even said that to you, and that was like another sign to me, like, I'm like, hey, I'm just making sure you're good.
But to everyone that's in my life, if I don't respond to your message, it's because I'm busy.
She's not avoiding you.
I don't avoid any. Like I don't ignore text messages. I don't avoid people. If I don't answer you, is either I'm dead or I'm busy. Those are the only two, because I don't do that. Mm-hmm. When I'm not busy, I literally reply right away.
Yeah. Yeah, and you do. Yeah. So that's how I know I'm like, I think she's just, Well, thinking about, so I've kind of talked about how some things have been like little pieces of evidence for me to think that I'm leaning more towards a secure attachment. But we talked about how in your other relationships, romantic relationships, right, that you anxious, and then this last time it was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it was that made this one different? Do you think it's like all the stuff you've done for yourself over the years? Do you think it was the person? Like, I'm just curious, like, what do you think happened? Because you did not start off anxious.
No, I felt secure. I think it was all my work, but I think that since I hadn't dated somebody in almost 10 years, I didn't really work on relationships that are romantic. I worked on like my friendships, and I worked on my daughter, and I worked on my parents and my siblings, but I didn't have a man to work on. So I feel like he's never going to listen to this. So I feel like I could say this. Like, he was never going to listen to this. I feel like for the first time in my entire life, when I was going to see him, I didn't have butterflies, because I used to think butterflies were a good thing, but they weren't. It was your body telling you, bitch, don't go there.
Yeah.
Do not go there.
Like,
go home.
Like a warning. Because like you said in last episode, if you didn't hear the last episode about the body code, please go listen. But you mentioned like how your body, like the things that your body's doing is trying to protect you.
Yeah. Your body's trying to protect you. It doesn't want you to be happy.
Right.
That's not his job.
Right.
So I felt super safe. Like from the moment that's why I don't want to say from the very, very, and I don't think it was not safe. I think that as soon as I actually like started having real feelings, like real ones, my old self was like, you're not safe. Because it was like afraid that something that I was actually letting it happen. You know what? I will always wonder what would have happened if I would have let it happen instead of freaking the fuck out, because he didn't give me a reason to freak out, guys. He didn't. I made those reasons. And then in turn, I went and I super acted crazy and anxious. And then that freaked him out because I think he also has a lot of trauma. Obviously, we all do.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of trauma. That freaked out his trauma, and then he avoided and ran away.
Yeah. You became anxious, he became avoidant, and
Yeah.
that just was a problem.
Yes.
Because honestly, leading up to the year, like that whole year leading up before you were dating, like I feel like you, I mean, I don't know how you feel. I'm telling you from the outside looking in, like you were like the healthiest as a whole that I have ever seen you.
Yeah, that breakup crushed me.
And I felt like you were ready for a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's ready.
Yeah.
And you thought you were ready too. And I'm not saying that you weren't, but like, you, like you said, you hadn't had, even though you've done a lot of healing for you, you didn't have a chance to practice that in a romantic relationship. And so, but like, I think maybe you kind of went into it thinking, oh, like, I'm good now. Cause I went into that thinking that for you, like you healed everything, but not with a person. But we didn't realize that.
I think it was when I told him that I was really scared. And he was like, I'm literally like, I was like gonna take you to meet my daughter, my sister's brand new baby, and you're telling me that you're scared to be with me. So I feel like I should have worded it differently, because I feel that triggered his fear of being abandoned.
Yeah.
And he even told me, he was like, I was doing everything right. And he was doing all the right things. He was doing them without even me asking. He was like,
which was probably making you feel secure. He was showing up to like take you to lunch and like telling you good night.
Like one time I told him I had a craving for what is those cookies I like, the cinnamon with crumble? No, just I wanted a snickerdoodle. And I was walking the dog, and then I heard like a car behind me, and he was like right there with a box of snickerdoodles.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like and I'm not excusing him, because I feel like we all have trauma, but at the end of the day, if all of that wouldn't have happened, then I wouldn't be this Nancy.
That's true.
And I love this Nancy. Like, I'm very thankful. I'm gonna cry. Anyway, I'm very thankful that it still happened, because it shone a light on the things that I have to work on. And it shone a lot of things that he has to work on. Necessarily doesn't mean that he's gonna work on them. I pray that he is, for his children, for himself, for his happiness, for his future woman that he's gonna have one day. But it did make me feel that. But for me, the biggest marker that I've healed on my insecure a little bit, I had an irrational fear that Renata was going to die.
That's right.
And now I know that that's the biggest form of abandonment.
Yeah.
And for a really long time, I was afraid to love her and attach to her, because
you're afraid you would lose her.
I was afraid that she was going to die.
Yeah.
And linking back to the body code, my grandmother, my mom's mom, lost 3 children.
Okay, so it's like generational.
Yes. And then the other day I coded myself.
Yeah.
And I found that she was an entity who's been with me, guess for how many years?
As long as your daughter's been alive?
Yes. And then that same weekend, I was alone. Every movie I saw was about the person losing a child.
Oh my God.
And I didn't even I just random movie. I lost a child. Every single movie. And back then, as soon as that happened, hell no. As soon as I removed my grandmother. So my grandmother was here to protect me, to be super cautious, so I wouldn't lose Renata because she lost her children.
Yeah.
But in reality, she was here to help me see it, so I could heal it, so I could heal for her, because she couldn't heal it.
Yeah.
And now when I watch the movies, I don't feel that way. As soon as I would see a movie about a kid dying, I would go into fucking panic.
Yeah.
And I would turn it off. Yeah. And the whole weekend, I watched it. I was just like, well, this is fucking crazy. Every movie, I watched 4 movies in the world. Every one of them, they lost a child.
That is wild.
And it was gone. Well, so I feel like now, I've healed a little bit, because I'm not afraid of that anymore. Obviously, the normal amount that a parent is afraid of that.
Sure.
But not into a panic that, remember that one weekend that I couldn't even fucking breathe?
Yeah, like the weekend we started this podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
You were definitely, because you were away from her.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
the fuck out.
I'm like, let's spray you with magnesium. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how
I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and cried about it.
Yeah. Well, something kind of similar to that, but different. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to body code this sometime. Like, I remember growing up, all I ever wanted was to be married. Like, before my dad died, all I wanted was to be married. Okay.
That was a life goal.
And then, and here we are. But then after my dad died, I got a fear of being married because I'm like,
Mm.
my husband's gonna die one day, and I am very preoccupied with death and thinking everyone's dead. Like I think my dog's dead all the time. Like in bed at sleep, I'm like, oh my god, is she moving? She's not breathing. Is she dead? And I'll wake her up, and I'm like, nope, she's good. I never necessarily think that my husband's dead, but like in my like when he's laying there asleep, I don't think he's dead. But I do have the fear. Like I don't want to be abandoned.
Yeah,
By
that was
my,
that's what I was going to ask you too. Do you not think that all your abandonment issues and anxious attachment is linked to the biggest abandonment of your
I'm
entire
sure
life?
that's probably the biggest percentage, and then just like overall neglect from parents in
Well,
general,
well, your
or
mom.
it's right below that.
But I mean, I feel like the real neglect came after he passed because your mom went into her own self, and your dad was the one that was giving you all. He was the one taking you on little things. He was the
Yeah,
one taking you in the.
yeah,
So that's like you got severely abandoned.
yeah, sure did.
So how can you not be anxious?
Yeah, but I also think it's weird because so you would think I would avoid marriage because of my big fear.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know. I don't know what you call this kind of attachment, but like I wanted it anyway, so I overcame it. I don't know, but I do have a. I was afraid at one point, like, am I going to avoid getting married because I'm so afraid that's going to happen to me?
I mean, that's the thing, but I feel like that's also sometimes we're breaking patterns without even realizing it.
Yeah. I wanted it. I'm like, screw it. We'll take the risk.
You're like, if he dies,
It's worth the risk. We're all gonna go one day.
I mean,
So
we are.
whatever.
It is worth the
You
risk.
can't do anything. You know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's throw out some tips for our listeners. One thing you can do if you're curious about your attachment style, well, there are all kinds of quizzes out there you can take. Do you remember? I didn't ask you
I
ahead of time,
sent you
but
one, remember?
yeah,
That's
I
the
was
one,
going to say,
the
do you remember?
initial one. I sent it to everybody, and my cousin sent it to everybody, and everybody was attachment
We
styling.
will dig through the chats that we have together and pull it up and link it because you
Yeah.
can take it. But also, if you're a Chat GPT fan, you know it'll do anything for you. It'll
It
give
will.
you. I said literally like, hey, give me a quiz, and I gave it a lot of like personal information from my childhood, from my adolescence, adulthood, all of that, and that's how it kind of gave me some guidance and ideas about where I am, but it also gave some tips for you guys so you can start trying to notice your patterns in conflict. Like, do you like want to be like aggressive and assertive and you want to like say everything, or you want to make sure things get fixed right away, or are you like nope, no conflict for me? I feel like this makes me think of enneagrams too. Like I know there's some enneagram, like I think it's like number 9. They're like very peaceful. They don't want any conflict. Maybe that has something to do with your attachment style. But you can also work on like practice asking for things you need directly. If you're somebody who's avoidant, but you want to change that, and you can surround yourself with secure, supportive people. I mean, good luck with that because a lot of people are not secure, but I'm sure you can still find
Who is secure? I mean,
support.
supportive maybe, but secure?
Yeah. Listen, that was ChatGPT's tips for like identifying patterns within yourself and making changes.
I think Renata's a little bit secure because the other day, me and my cousin went outside, and the next day, she was like, I don't like it when you're outside and I'm inside. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I don't feel safe when you're outside and I'm in my room sleeping. I want you to be inside. I don't feel safe.
Well, all right.
And I was like, all right, well, damn, bitch. Now I'll just hide it better.
But no, I do think your child is very self-aware, and obviously that has a lot to do with the conversations you've had with her.
Therapy.
And then, well, therapy too. But I mean, you're in her day-to-day life. Like, obviously, it has to have a lot to do with the way you've given her a space to say what she needs to say. Whether that's maybe if all you did was literally let her go to therapy, I'm sure in therapy she learned she has a space to say what she needs to say. So however you want to wrap it up there. But yeah.
ChatGPT is like, surround yourself with secure people. Like, can you tell me where to find them?
Yeah, where's the list of the secure people? No, just
if you're secure, can you let us know?
Tell us in the comments if you're secure. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to know your attachment style, and especially if you're in a romantic relationship, to see what is your partner, husband, wife, whatever.
What's his name?
He didn't take one. I don't know.
But what do you think it is?
Yeah,
he took one.
Did he?
I did it for him.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck was it?
Avoidant or secure? I think he was secure.
It was avoidant.
I thought we said he was secure. We're like, what's wrong with you?
No, it was avoidant.
Oh, he doesn't like. I mean, if I directly come out and say something or ask him a question, like he'll respond to me, but he doesn't go around telling me how he feels, or anything.
I feel like it's weird because his parents be saying how they feel all the time.
Yeah. Maybe because of
Maybe
that.
too much.
Maybe because of that, he didn't have a space to say how he felt. So he's like, well, might as well say anything then. Avoid it.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't like to have long, drawn out conversations. So if he says something, because sometimes I'm like, oh, like we need to tell your mom XYZ. I'm like, just text her. He's like, no, she'll call me. Like, so he's avoiding it because he's like, this is going to turn into like an hour conversation about XYZ.
That's
so
true.
He's definitely avoiding it.
Oh, yeah.
But he will have conversations with me. So I think he must be somewhat secure. Maybe there is like some unicorn combination of secure and avoidant. Maybe depends on who it is and what the situation is, which is probably true for everybody, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
Because think about relationships with your parents versus your friends versus your romantic partner. You could probably literally multiple personalities of attachment styles.
That's true. Yeah,
I mean, but seriously, most of the time, or your job, like people you work, yeah. Because I would say something to you that I would never say to people I work with.
Oh yeah,
like my boss or anything.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, especially her.
I mean, that's not being professional, but Anyway, to wrap this episode up, I just want to remind you that if you find that you have one attachment style and you're like, oh dang, like I don't want this, I want to go towards secure. If you're not already secure, like you're not stuck. You can definitely work on it, and being aware is always the first step when you want to work on something.
It really is. Yeah. And it's not linear.
Yeah, because like I said, like depending on your relationship, you might I might be secure over here, anxious over here, avoid it over here, and then like over time something can happen that can trigger you to go back, but then just be aware of it and be like, okay, wait, no, that's not the goal. Let me do XYZ and get myself together. I'm certain there are tons of books out there that can tell you how to work through these things too.
And if you don't have
sure
the money, ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, it'll tell you. Yeah, it'll tell you absolutely everything.
Guys, if you know what your attachment style is, or you have an idea what it is, or you go take the quiz, please leave a comment and let us know.
Yeah, we're very curious. What's going on out there in the world with you and your attachment style?
I have anxious attachment. I need to know that you're there.
She's not avoiding the audience. Please.
I want you to tell me you love me.
Okay. Well, our next episode is going to be about men and emotions
and how they don't want to express any of them.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to talk to men in all different walks of life, from teenagers to millennials to Gen Xers to people who work from home, go to school, blue collar workers. But yeah, we just want to have a conversation about men and emotions, and we want to get some real stories and real examples of how are men feeling, because I think as a woman, I mean, I have a lot of feelings and I express them all the time and whatever, right? But like some men may do that. And some men maybe like, no thanks. I think that you mean most.
No, most won't.
Most don't want to.
They'd rather die.
Yeah, they're like, no, I'm good. I feel nothing.
Like, dude, you're on the floor dying. I'm okay.
They're avoidant attachment styles, probably,
I think they don't feel safe to say anything because then we'll think they're pussies.
I mean, that's true. I think there's definitely, because from a woman's perspective, right? Like, or not even a woman's perspective, society's perspective is men are leaders. Men have to be strong. Men can't cry. Men have to take care of everything. Like, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It is.
It really is.
So we're going to dive into that and see what we discover. Obviously, it'll be from a semi-small sample size, but enough different perspectives that I think it will be interesting to know.
I have 18 available employee men that I'm going to ask.
Wow. Well, all right. You're going to come back with a lot more than me. My pool's a little smaller, but mighty. I got 4 that I can think of right now.
Yeah, I have my actual employees and then my brother's business partner's employees.
Okay. So yeah, we'll come back with hopefully an interesting episode that will help you, if you're a woman, learn more about how men are feeling. And if you're a man, well, maybe you just relate.
Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you. We love you.
Yeah. And we will catch you next time.
Hey, besties. If you love the chaos, the laughs, and the real talk, don't forget to hit the follow button. Subscribe, share, and tell your friends because bitches be cray. And you know you love it. New episodes drop every other Wednesday, so stay tuned and stay cray. Bye, bitches.